Greetings. This is Kai Y007 coming in with a live stream video, and I hope everyone's doing well. If not, I hope this helps you feel a little better. Welcome to the new people that maybe come through, and ones that are returning. Very much appreciated as always. Could be your pilot. So come aboard and let me take you to the till I get to you. A little intro, then we'll get right into it.
Boom, boom, boom. Nigga, what? West side? Nigga, what? Throw 'em up? Boom, boom, boom. Nigga, we don't give a fuck. What? We bring it like boom, boom, boom. Hail Mary! Boom, boom. Told you niggas scared, right? Boom, boom, boom. Nigga back, boom. Click, clack. Them niggas got guns. Boom.
Hey, I ain't going nowhere. I'm still gonna be right back in the streets. You dig?
Tell that to the judge.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me tell you about Hail Mary. Boom, boom. The kind of shit that gets you bad. Boom, boom, boom. Shit quite necessary. Post it up on the corner. Make it cherry.
Like the bitch out.
All right, hope everyone's doing good. As you see from the thumbnail too, get more that you desire. Personal manifesting. I've talked somewhat about this before, and regarding dreams, and I'll get back into that too. Probably put that in an upcoming video, I'm thinking. And I was just gonna move forward with some videos, but apparently I already have another subscription for StreamYard, so go ahead and take advantage of it. So be doing that. With manifesting too, I think this is good for anyone, regardless of, kind of like where you're at in your life. If you do want to have some added on, I look at it as like getting more out of life and getting more of what you want. So this is kind of a selfish approach, if you want to say, like, look at it like that. If you're just working on something with you and you want to see more things in your life, these are some things I know work for me, and I've also seen it. So I started learning more about it. Like, what is manifesting? Saying it, knowing that there's so much power in the tongue. I don't know how many of y'all really, really realize how much it is, but there's a whole lot of power in the tongue. What you say, you speak in it, and you can speak a certain substance into existence by what you're saying. The background, we play some deep manifest audio. So this is set at a certain megahertz that's recorded, and it's supposed to enhance the experience. So I have that playing a little in the background. I'm still a little new to at like expressing some of these things. I've done some manifesting, not realizing that that's what it was, and then learning more about it. It helped me structure it more too, so that I know I can get the outcome that I'm looking for out of things. Some is financial, some is certain things with that, emotional stability, different things, whatever it is that you are seeking to improve in or that you want to gain, you have more power in it. So I want to express some things with that. It's all about mindset. And one of the key things too is like, regardless of what you're going through, if you still add some positivity to it, it's gonna make a difference. It's going to. You might even feel crazy while you're doing it because you'll be like, okay, I'm kind of forcing myself to think positive when I know this isn't going to turn out good, or whatever it is. But you be amazed by the power of the mind, and your attitude behind it is going to show results, and it works. So there's that. I'm going to get into. I mentioned in a previous video too. Excuse me. Doing the writing too. So I'm going to talk about some of that. Knowing what you want to. Some of this has to do with your, like I said, your personal desires. So it could be sexual. Are you really getting what you want out of sex? Are you holding back? Or do you really know what you want? Are you making the right connection with the person that you want? And I'm not speaking on perfection every day because I don't think that exists. I'm speaking on you getting more out of what you want. I mentioned before too how there's been shifts, there's been changes in our universe that have affected the earth. There's changes going on, and I think it seems to be affecting a lot of us. The moon is moving further away. It's been moving about, again, a centimeter a year. So to stay stable for the earth, we need to keep the moon closer. I know, to me, I feel like the more we spiral out of control, the more it's affecting the earth. And it's spinning faster. I mentioned how it was spinning faster in 2019 or early 2020. And it picked up again last year. I wonder how many of y'all pay attention to stuff like that. Do you look at anything like when NASA mentions things? Or what I like to do is I look for things. Like, I'm not just waiting for them to come and tell us everything that's going on. I look for it. And to me, it's like a way of not only being aware, but preparing for things, gaining understanding. As I do that, I do believe that you can manifest things. So you can manifest certain stabilities in your life, things that you want, whether it's against success or whether it's whatever it is that you got going on in your relationship or lack of. So in the last video, I spoke on sexual transformation, and that is where basically I was reaching out to people that aren't really getting any. Just being honest. You're barely getting any sex, or it's just not working out for whatever reason, right? You're not feeling satisfied. Or some other area in life where you could be dissatisfied. When you're not having intercourse, and it helps when you're making a conscious effort not to. Okay? But either way, you're not. Tap into your sexual energy that's there. Now, I used to think you have to build up that sexual energy by being with someone, but you don't. You have it already there. So my point is, you feel exhilarated when you're having intercourse or not, or you're anticipating it. This is part of anticipating it. Bring it into your life if that is what you want. But the key thing is, while you're not getting any, use it to your advantage. There's so many ways you can use it to your advantage. Like people that some people don't eat meat. Okay, they stopped or they never did. I know Erykah Badu spoke on this too. She feels that eating the way she does and drinking all natural juices has heightened her thinking. It's it's unlocked things in her mind, and there's ways to do that if y'all want to do it. When you think about it, it's okay, do I gotta just go through life, just whatever happens, or I don't really have control over this and that. I don't like living like that. And I think a lot of us think that way, whether we pursue our dreams somewhat or not. It's still like, hey, whatever happens, happens. And it's like, no, gain a little more power over that. So that comes with the your personal manifesting. You know what you want, right? There's things in your mind. Write them down repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times to do it, but start somewhere. It could be a daily thing or weekly. I wouldn't say monthly. I would say be a little more consistent with it. Also, you may notice if you start writing some things out, you start to change them a bit after you read it, after you look at it. Write the way you feel it should be written. There's something about inscriptions when you scribe and you're thinking on it as you're inscribing. I heard people speak on it, and then I was like, well, how many times do I have to write it? Things like that. But I was like, no, I'm gonna write what I need. All right. And I was like, okay, well, what do I really need? Whether you need much or you need a lot. Think about what you really need, and think about what you want to. And I was like, well, I know what I want. And then when I wrote some of it down, I was like, that sounds greedy. I was like, but it's not, because what I want to do with it, and that's how I think. So it's good to do this time. You may forget sometimes to do it, certain days or certain weeks. When you remember, just write it down. You can keep it near you where you lay, where you rest, or where you take breaks. Meditating falls into play with this too. I have a book that Russell Simmons wrote a while back. It's called Super Rich, The Guide to Having It All. And I'm gonna get on the screen. One moment. What I'm gonna do is show this book here, and then I'm gonna have some video to show too. Here we go. All right, so Super Rich, and that's by Russell Simmons. It's good. It's really good. What is funny when you get the book, I know a lot of people think when you get it, like he's just going to tell you exactly how to get rich, exactly how you're going to make it and stuff. But everybody has their own journey. There's certain fundamentals that can help like everyone get there, and it has to do with meditation too. He talks about in the book. This was signed. That's cool. And one key thing too that I want to mention from the book too, and I'm gonna move on, is that he said don't chase money, or it's most likely not even gonna come. It's not gonna come right. And I was thinking like, okay, don't chase money, but you need money. You need that for things, but you don't always just need money. You need resources, networking, to be connected. So what he's meaning in there, he's stating that if you're chasing something, then it's running from you. That's one thing. I'm like, okay, I get that. You don't want it to be running from you. So some things too I learned in more recent years. I've had this book for a while. Is that okay? So he mentioned about not chasing the money. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was your relationship with money makes a difference. You gotta learn to have a good relationship with that resource, just like you would someone. So it's different. We don't all have good relationships with money, and that's why money be funny. Not only you want to work on manifesting to obtain things, it's like what you plan to do and how you go about it will affect you too. He's went through things in his life, recent and back then. So we go through things, but it helps. Let me get into the video here too. I can't remember what I have. I have a bunch of different things on here. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm unmuted. Sorry about that. Okay, so I have a little more video to do, and then I'll to wrap it up too. This is live. If anyone wants to chime in about anything I've said, or anything that's on your mind regarding something similar to this too. Also, by the thumbnail, obviously it is an eggplant and a peach, so we know what that symbolizes too. So, like I said, there's manifestation, which you're hearing. I think you're hearing more about it now too. People that are successful or working on being successful have it. You utilize it. Meditating. Some people feel like they just don't have time. Everyone has time. Everyone has time. Even if you make 5 minutes, 10 minutes, little short periods of time like that. And like I got out of the book too that I mentioned, Super Rich by Russell Simmons some years ago. When you start to do things too, when you start to make a conscious effort of doing it more repetitively, it'll start to become more of your routine. So that works too. And you don't have to worry about breaking a routine like that, because you do have other things going on. But if you apply these things right, they could work out. All right, I have to change the fabric I got around this. I'm using it's getting hot. I'm not hot, but the device is hot. Hope all is well, Joe Dub. Frequencies. Like I mentioned, the audio playing now has a delivered frequency for going with it. What I may end up doing is wrapping this up, and when I do another live, I'm gonna do the setup a bit different so I don't have any interference by any of these electronics over here. So I just might have to do that. Oh, I didn't do it right. You know what? I'll still finish. I'm still gonna finish it. I'm not gonna just break it down because I go through a lot to even do it. Oh my goodness. With getting more, I'm gonna turn it down a bit too. I don't know if it's too much, and with the air blowing, the fan thing in the background of this device. Sorry. All right. So ponder on it. Whatever it is, I pondered on things. It's in my zodiac to just be more engaging when it comes to sex and just what everything, So I've pondered on things, and the next thing I knew, it came to life. I mean, like, if I wrote a script on it, we just would be able to see it. My fantasies, I'm going to make my reality. so I can. So I don't know how y'all take that, but yeah, it's like you can prepare for it. You're prepping yourself for it, whether it's sex, or something else with success. You're prepping for it, and then you got to be daring. So I wrote down prepare and dare. Prepare and dare yourself. Be a little daring about things. When you're doing it too, and if you're looking for just like some temporary satisfaction, then you can be more selfish about it and just think, more about yourself. But if you're thinking long term, or if you're pursuing something or someone that is a bit out of your reach, then when you're manifesting, you got to think and dig a little deeper, but you want to know more about that you want, that item or that person. And then once you get more detail on those specifics, it's like you consuming it as you manifesting, as if you have it. It's almost there. It's almost there. So that's how you have to think with your mind, and once it connects with the frequencies, once you tap in, it's a powerful thing. And again, it's what you planning to do with it and what you do with it, long term or short term, if you can make it happen. Oh, happy birthday! Oh, it's a little late. I saw there was a comment, but I didn't even see it. The birthday. Oh, wow. I forgot. I'm still here. I was late about seeing it. Oh, okay. Oh, you're welcome. That's funny too. I wanted to do. There's something with what was it, like a game type of thing? Where we can engage, sort of similar like bingo, but it had to do with numbers, and do like a giveaway thing. But then you see, just the other day, Cash App was down. I remember I used it, and I was like, oh, I don't like that. That's what I was going to mention too. It is good to have your funds in multiple places, have your own things set up, and where if things don't go right, it's not too much of a disadvantage on you, because we're starting to depend so much more on electronic than, like I was speaking on, online service and instant this and that. That's why I'm really not big on going cashless, totally cashless anyway. No, no, I don't really like that. Sometimes I like to even have checks. You can have checks, you have your cash, have your money in a banking institution. And if you like these new things like Zelle and some of those that I'm not familiar with, protect yourself at all costs. That's what it's got to be. Yeah, that I didn't like that. I said, all right, I ain't rocking with y'all for a while. It took me years to even get Cash App, and I got it because of someone on YouTube. And I was like, well, how else can I, like, to do the thing? And I'm like, ain't no other way to do it. So I did it. So I put one particular person, and after that, some individuals, but like, I don't trust it. If I was to, I don't know when I will use it again. I don't know. But anyway, what I was trying to say too was that I wanted to use that, like doing a giveaway. Like, you were there before. I think you won before too or something, whatever. But yeah, like before it was more like raffle. But I did a few lives ago, and I showed this little thing that I have, a bingo machine thing. So I would manually draw numbers, and it would do it like that. So I think that would be cool. And yeah, like to have fun, a way to show a little appreciation. And I was actually thinking Thankful Thursday, and it was Thursday that Cash App went down. So I was like, shoot. But anyway, as I could work on things and get the numbers up more too. Also anyone that catches this too, I got punch in some more new subscribers. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. Yeah. So basically this live was just to go over how a lot of things in life I feel like really start in the mental. I'm realizing how much more and more a mindset, our minds do have power. Maybe it's different too hearing people say it and you're not for sure yourself. We may have all been there, but I know I see it for myself, and I see what others have been talking about. So I just want to do some more. I'll probably do some shorter videos to come up. People want to like come in and grab some quick, information and apply it. Like by all means, try it. Let me know how it worked out. I have my email. Some people are quieter. I'm quiet too, but the comment section is there. If you don't catch or like respond during a live chat, there's a comment section there. Think about some of the things that were said. You do have to make space too. I meant to say that early on too. You can't just assume people are already doing this, but make space. You have to make space. When we did the last one, yeah, yeah. So what was that? Yeah, because then I started thinking about Cash App again. So we'll see. We'll see about that whole deal. But yeah, do it. I'm telling you, just and write it down some of the time. Go back and read it and see yourself receiving it. And it's like that when people think of things they want in their life, not so much relationship. So that's why I'm throwing that in there too, like relationship wise. Also, work or relations. Some people just want to, they just want to get it on with somebody or whatever. But just be careful too, because what I'm basically telling you, what's kind of somewhat of teaching you, is that you can use it, you can have it, you can use it to your advantage. But at the same time, it's on you if you're just using it to take advantage of other people. We all have our own free will, but everything we do put out into the universe, you can expect to get it back. NASA will back that up. It's a fact. So I keep saying tapping into it. I seen some videos on here too, and they said tapping. I was like, that's what I said. I said, you tapping into it. So I feel like, my frequency has strengthened. I've started talking about this. I did maybe a couple of videos on similar conversation maybe a year or so ago. But you can just, I just feel it more into existence even more now. Sex is a weapon, but so is not having sex. So there's a couple ways to look at it. Again, if you're not getting any, for whatever the reason, tap into that unused energy because it's to be used. I mentioned before, they mentioned athletes, they have them restrained from sex. They have other people that are working on certain things. They want to restrain from certain things. So as you're doing that, you're heightening other areas. So you can do that too, to heighten your connections with developing or strengthening your relationship. Because like I said, with the earth and the moon and the slowly coming of a unstable planet, okay, possibly our behaviors are becoming more unstable, things of that sort. So I just feel like if we know we can still depend on some of these ancient findings, even though we're in present day now, 2023, they can still be used. And why not use them? Try it. Like, just do it. When you're doing it, you got to believe it too. If you don't see yourself getting it, I can't make that happen for you. Like that, you're in control of that. I mean, I know I could help. There's ways I could do that, honestly, but you have to see it to start to feel it, and then you can receive that. So that and okay, I think I have another little part in here that I'm gonna play. There's an article here too. I spoke on libido a while back too. Sex drives. We all have different sex drives. I know a lot of people feel they got the best this and that, but if we're having an honest conversation, that's not true. So we all have different sex drives too, and that makes a difference in our sex lives, right? So, and then there's some people that don't brag. I just be listening to people that brag. I just be thinking to myself, like, okay, is you really like, okay, so what make you think you so good with it or whatever? I don't know. I just want to know. I'd be a little curious. And plus, I just want to know since you're talking about that. Yeah, ways to enhance in those areas too. So anyway, why am I so horny? 9 causes of high libido and what to do. So, while libido is, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this article. Anyone to feel free to, it's a judgment free. You really can't judge someone on their desires. You really can't judge someone on, things, of course, with certain, morality in play. Because I'll be wanting to see how people feel about different things too. And it seems like when I see people on live or they do something, it's like people start clowning each other and arguing or something like weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like I'm not getting nothing out of it. Somebody be like, oh, ew, or oh, ooh, and it's like, if we all adults, like, and y'all want to talk about it, why can't we have the conversation? Or why can't y'all, while I'm being quiet, listening from the clouds? That's what I do. And I'll be looking for some content. I'm like, come on, like, give me something. Give me something I can feel. Do I have to be involved? All right, I have to sip some. All right, so yeah, cool. Glad you feel me on some. It's Joe Dub. Usually the people that talk most of it. What's going on, TC? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, right. And then, like, with me too, I'll say this too, like, with some of my, like, deep fantasies, I don't even want to tell. Like, I want somebody that, like, would figure it out. I don't know if that's too much to ask. Or even, like, maybe have an, I don't know. I guess that, you know what? Probably because that's part of my fantasy. Some of it. I got a bunch of them. So maybe that's part of what it is too. Like, if it just happened. Oh, I'm not sure. See, because I'm on my journeys too. We're all on a journey. If we're living life. We're living a journey. So I don't know. That's part of mine. I have to write that. Yeah. Oh, and plus the other reason, I don't mind sharing, but at the same time, at the same time, wouldn't want to give up too many details that somebody would use just to get it. You know what I'm saying? Or just to what's the word? I don't know. Maybe like to get at me, like if there's a possibility or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know all that I'm about, so that person can just use that to get you. I think about that with anyone, but also celebrities or people that talk publicly, people that tell about themselves. And it's like, okay, if you tell too much, I feel like you're leaving the door open and anything can come in. So if you're going to crack the door a bit if you want, but don't just tell too much, because then there you go. But some people tell because they want somebody to come and tag them. They want to get got or whatever. So there's that too. You know what they do. Oh, this is supposed to be playing. I said this. So, like I said, oh yeah, testosterone, right. Hormones, your sex drive, all that has to do with it. I threw this in. I talked about in the past. I don't know what else I was going to bring up about it specifically. Yeah, and the foods you eat too, different foods do have an effect on your yeah, I would say basically your libido can affect that too. So having fresh foods, things like that too. Also what you eat too, before I wrap things up, has an effect too on like, all right, there's alcohol. Some people are real alcoholics. You can smell the alcohol. You can smell things on people. What you eat and stuff like that, that affects how you taste. So I'll just put that in short. Yeah, basically. You pretty much are what you eat. Much are. He said certain foods. Oh yeah, and the aphrodisiacs. Seafood. I know I said clams, things like that, other stuff. If y'all know some other things too, can mention it. If I remember looking into it before, I didn't. I just saw like some. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot of aphrodisiac food. I don't know if I said that right. So I'm just wondering if there's more. Also too, like a lot of things I'm saying on here, aren't things everybody does. Like you might think, well, I'm thinking about it, I'm hoping, right? But you got to put it more to action too. And it may not always be throwing yourself out there. I haven't necessarily done that. I'm telling you, when you're writing and then you reread it, but you write it repeatedly, like sometimes we've had to keep writing something for punishment. No, it's not that. You're writing it because you want to see it again. You may critique what you wrote. So you can always go back. Well, not go back, but as you're moving forward, you're rewriting what you wrote. And then you're speaking it and you're filling it into existence. But find a space to, I should have reiterated on this earlier, find a space by yourself. A lot of this you want to do by yourself. This isn't for everybody to be around. If you do that, that's fine for something else or at another time. But it's about you. Everyone has time. Everyone has time to meditate. If you don't feel like, I don't want to meditate, I don't really know what that exact, okay. Can you just be by yourself for a while and make a consciousness of doing it? Be by yourself for a little while, 5 to 10 minutes, and ponder on what you want and think about how you're going to be receiving it. What you're going to do with it, because it's coming. If not, you're not even really expecting it to come. So a lot of it starts in the mental. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Things going on, maybe someone will hear it, take something from it, and utilize it. This is for conversation, but just do it. Do it so it can work for you too. If you half-ass do this, like anything else, if you half-ass it, you can expect half-ass results. You can still get it popping up. You can still have this going on, but that's how it is. Still have this on the screen, so Oh yeah, and like what I'm saying with the manifesting, and in certain sexual desires too. Now, masturbating too, so people masturbate, or let's say like it says in the article too, that affects your sex drive too. So what you're doing with that, and also thinking, if you're already doing manifesting, or you may try it like I'm suggesting, it can build up your sexual energy, which transforms into a power. You can use it, people, like use it. Know what you really want. What are you wanting? Do you want just an individual? Do you want different ones? If so, there's ways to go about that too. Because again, what you put out there, you get back. If you're doing stuff to hurt people, you could get that back. You know, if you're doing stuff to just be quick in and out, okay, fine. But as long as you know that you could get that back. So that's with that. In closing, I think I'm gonna run my quick little notes on here. And food. I was gonna show some food that I made too recently. Any kind, including okay. All right, I think I did everything. All right, appreciate y'all coming through. Oh, this is still going. All right, I'm gonna just remove this now. There's a little more to the article, but I can add that in another session. Talking about this here and what? But yeah, food. Oh yeah, want to get help. I'll just throw this in there too because they had this in there. I don't think that it's. I think having a good, healthy sex drive is good. Or this, you know, the higher, I think it's good. But you know, like they say here, if this affects your work or your relationships in a negative way, then you know there's help for that. So, you know how mine is. Let me put it. This is like more of a. You consider it an Asian dish too. I do kind of multicultural cooking to being a multicultural. It's like vegetable romaine. I had some chicken and shrimp that I also added to it. Cabbage, like celery, the green bean that you see in there, and diamonds added in there. Talk about stir fry too, but I cook it quite well. Good for you. Get your amino acids in there too. Oh, that'd be good for you. I hope there isn't an echo all of a sudden. Oh, all right, that's the pot. So yeah, telling you how to eat what you want to, but at the same time too, the better you eat, the better you feel too, and then you may see something out of it. That coincides too with your manifestation too, what you're thinking, and you know, do your planning too. Do your planning, but just the writing, thinking of it, and saying it, speaking it with your mouth, speaking as if you have it already too. Right? And whatever you're not as comfortable doing too, sometimes around others, do it on your own. Because some of this you really need to just make space, time for yourself, and just do it. Give it a shot. Always feel free to come back and let me know. I'll have some more coming up on this type of topic too. I think it could help. But yeah, isolation. Who you're around too makes a big difference. The company you keep makes a big difference. All these things make a big difference. So that was some hot veggies. There's some cold veggies. Really like a good fresh salad. And some of it I added in, like I had it prepared, or I purchased something prepared, and you can always stretch your food out till you add food, till you add ingredients that you want to make it better with, end up having more. So coming up in closing, like I mentioned, I'm going to speak more on sleep meditation, things to do with sleep, and I have a tab. Where's my tab? And it used to help me look for quick details. All right. Dream state. So your dream state. So, where am I at here? Okay. Your dreams are natural de-stressors. All right. Decreases your neuromorphine. I don't want to say it wrong, but your neuromorphine. So it de-stresses. So you're already in a de-stress mode. There's ways to take advantages while you're in your de-stress mode. So this will be good too for people that might be experiencing stress, or you got some stresses going on, something like that. Or you just want to just work on your daily day to day. So I'm going to talk more about some things that you can do while asleep. So it's somewhat of dream manifesting. So what I went over some things that you do while you're awake, but also we'll talk about some things while you sleep, while you're resting. Why not sort of preset your mind into go mode for your manifesting and see how that works out for you. All right, so appreciate those that came through. I'll wrap this up. As always, y'all coming through is always appreciated. Hope you get something out of what's being said. To watch how you say what you say on here, but at the same time trying to get the point across and come through and make it somewhat at least enjoyable. Even though when people be on here arguing, they be saying all kind of stuff and get away. I don't understand. But they be like, oh, you can't say, oh, you gotta talk something. Like, okay. But yeah, again, this is KY007. Here on the channel, I talk here and there about community, sexuality, spirituality, and they usually call it, say, astrals. It has to do with astronomy and some astrology and how they coincide together and how they can have effects over our lives. So it's something whether you believe in it or not, you believe in science, religion, or whatever, those type of different things. I think there's key information in each one and it's there for us to use. So if you're into anything of exploring things like that, I want to share and exchange your ideas. With that, that's part of mainly what we do here on this channel here. And it's appreciated. Appreciate it coming through. And like I said, again, this is KY007. Thanks for coming out. Until next time, peace.